Okay, Nico. Apparently you're not seeing everything I need you to see. All right, I'm going to show you the basics of the database. Just go over a real simple basic thing. So when you open up, it always opens up to sales form. There's these little buttons up here, and I covered this before. This is the commission button. This is the rent button. This is run sales report. This is a find button, like I need to find something. Okay, and you'll notice that all these represent, if I hit this little arrow down here, this is the record. So there's 238 records, okay? And each one of these represent a different artist, okay? Inside of here separately, there's also the store. So there's 4 records for Metamora Stoneworks. There's Novi, Clinton Void, Livonia Void, Ann Arbor, okay? And then there's nothing. And if you notice, if I flip to Ann Arbor, here's 914, and those sales were $1,268 and da da da. If I flip over here to Livonia, you notice that it's on a different date and a different amount. So each one of these is kind of linked. So as you change this, this changes this, and as you change this, this changes this and this. Okay, they kind of flow down. This up here, the company name and all that is the master record. This, if you would, is the secondary record, the store, and then the last record is the actual sales data. Okay, I don't know how else to explain that. Okay, so and there's 238 different people in here. Tenderleaf Gardens. Okay. Now let's say I'm building a new artist, and I need to build a new artist in here. I had a new artist that came in. So there's several things I have. I have a company name, I have a first name, a last name, and an email address. I have a store, when their contract ends, what type of contract are they? I also have a paychecks ID, then I have a commission, and I have a rent. Okay? So once again, I have a first name, I have a last name. Excuse me, I got a company name, first name, last name, email. That's primary. I have a store they're at. I have a type of contract it is. I have a contract end date. I will have a paychecks ID, and this is always defaulted, or you must put in 0 in here, but I'll cover that at a later time or when I get into this more. And then I said I have a commission for that store, and I have a rent for that store. So there you have it. So that's the basics of that. So let's say I'm going to create someone new. Okay, I'm just going to do this. Down here this is the last document. This is flow forward. This is flow backwards. This is go to the first. This is go to the next. So I'm at 2 of 238. This is go to last, like I said, 238 of 238. And what I like to do is when I'm creating a new one, I just click on this last one, which is new blank record. So let's just say we're going to do this. Blank company. This is what I do, right? First name, hey, this is John. His last name is Doe. He signed. And his email address is johndoe@nowhere.com. Oop. Now I just hit next and it flipped over to the next one. So blank company, right? Okay, good. So this little window here controls this. Well, John Doe, which store was he at? Well, let's say he came into Clinton. He is a new artist and his contract ends 9/30/2017. You must put 0 in for a paychecks ID. You must put 0 in for a paychecks ID. Even though you see this little asterisk here and this 0, you must put in 0. Because now this is actually a record. This is a start of a new one, but it doesn't exist. This is only a record. You must put 0 in to start. Otherwise, you will not generate a sales report. You will eventually change that once you build this person into paychecks, okay? So once I got all that information in, I then go to commission, okay? And if you notice, there's now 239 documents in here, okay? So I'm going to flash forward to the last person. Look at that, it's John Doe. And I'm going to change his commission. His commission is 17%. And I'm just changing this for each month. I change it for each month because at some point in time, they may not. Okay, so now you flash forward, if I flow over here, you see December. Okay, once again, it starts off with an asterisk. If I start typing in here, it's going to create another record. You don't want that. You want only one row here. One row and one row only, complete. You do not want to. It will then generate 2 reports for this person every time if you add a second row in here, okay? If this person had another store, let's say, I could add in a second store in here, right here. I could change in, now they got a Novi store. Look at that. Now they got a record for that. Notice that? Oh, look, see how they're different, okay? You can actually add in a second store. Okay, so that's how you know, and you got to click on the right store to make sure you're doing the right thing. So I'm actually going to delete this record, okay? I'm right mouse clicking on that. It's asking me, are you sure you want to delete this record? I'm like, yes, I actually do. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and I'm going to create their rent, okay? And I'm going to go to the last document again. Okay, now let's say you're thinking, oh, this is a commission person, they don't have any rent. Once again, this asterisk must be down 1 line. So if they technically have no rent, enter in 0. If they have a rent, enter it in to, okay, whatever the rent is. Okay, that'd be great rent. I'd love it. You know, so that's what you do to create this person. This is how you create that person, okay? This person is now created in the system. I now know they're there. Now, okay, how do I know what their vendor code, vendor ID is, okay, or location ID, right? So I have it over here on the spreadsheet and I need to, you know, get John Doe in here. John Doe, and it says new here, okay? I now need to get John Doe a number in here. How do I get his number from this system, and how do I know what the hell to type in? Excuse me, let me just close this. How do I know what to type in here? Okay, well, the system's created that already. And there's this little thing in here called artist name location query 1. I know it's a long name. You're probably like, what the heck is that? So if I double click on this, oh good, it's already on Clinton. That's fantastic. And if I actually scroll down here, I should find blank company John Doe is actually now number 377. And if you notice something here, notice that these aren't in order. Notice that Krups Cups and stuff is actually number 374, and this one's number 377. That's because there's 3 people who've been created at other stores that have those numbers. Each person, if I created a John Doe Novi, his number would be 378 technically. If I created him for Novi, his Novi number would be 378, but his Clinton number is 377. That is really critical because each number is different. Each number is related to both the company name and the location. So it's not just, you know, John Doe's number permanently is 377. No, his number for Clinton will always be 377. His number for Novi may be different, okay? And these aren't in order, but that's how you do that. So now I would come in here and I'd be like, okay, John Doe's number is number 377. You know, so there you have it. So just wanted to show you that so you have a little bit of an idea of what's going on, how to do that, and what to do. Now, I can also show you how to change this because this automatically flipped over to Clinton, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to right mouse click on this and I'm going to go to design view. You got to be very careful in here. See this Clinton? That's in quotations. If I just changed it to blank, it'll pull up all the locations at once in there. I actually like to keep this on different locations on purpose, okay? And I'll explain that more later, but that's how you do that and you actually run it. Okay, so now look, I'm at Novi. Now if I come down here to Novi, last number you'll notice is 376 is Tenderleaf Gardens. 377 isn't even on there, okay? And I always want to save whatever I did last on these because there's a reason for that. I'll explain more on that later, but I just wanted to show you that's how you create it in the system. So now I'm just going to close this little form and I'm out here at rent form. I'm just going to go back to sales, okay? Because this is the home, if you would, where I want to stay. All right, good. There's another video.